Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we are looking at some clones for Star Wars Legion. These are the Clone Trooper Marksmen. I'm not really sure who Marksmen actually are. I'm not sure, like the theme. These are basically a ranged core version. They took, your kind of long-range clone out of the basic clones, and are going to include, look at this, phase 1, phase 2, and helmetless options for our clones here. And we've got some all-new sculpts. We got our mortar trooper there, which looks pretty smooth with his jingle bells. He's in the holiday spirit. If you guys are new here to the channel, we talk a lot about Star Wars tabletop games, Star Wars Legion, a lot of other miniature wargaming, sci-fi stuff all around. I'd love to have you stick around. We're doing 12 Days of Life Day. If you want to have a chance to enter to win any of the giveaways we're going to announce in December, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. Let me know who you think Mark is and why these are his men, because I've never seen a clone named Mark. So it's an interesting... Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe it's this guy. Hi, Mark. Well, maybe that's who Mark's men are. Maybe this means they can go in Rebels. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and get this thing open, though, but I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on the Clone Trooper Marksman. Oh, look there. Look, there's a sticky on this side as well. So we're going to get these guys open. We're also going to build these guys. We'll put them all together, and we'll have some fun with it, and give us some new options for our clones. There's a whole lot of new Legion on the way. We got a lot of new Legion updates recently, and with plenty more coming. And it's always exciting to get some new models. AMG has been knocking it out of the park lately with a lot of their sculpts. So this looks like that's everything in the box. We got 3 sprues here. We've got lots of bases. We have, what is supposed to come in here, actually? So it's going to be 11 miniatures, 5 cards, 1 token sheet, and an insert sheet. Our token sheet should be in here. Yes, we're going to have a single core option. The interesting thing about this is, I think, the first time I've seen a core come in the new style, and the difference between the old core symbol and then the new generic one is that the new generic one is much larger, right? So it's not just a standard triangle anymore. It's a bigger triangle, which is groovy. We've also got our basic insert here. It's going to give you a little bit about who helped bring this game to your tabletop, and a link to the assembly page where you can get your instructions. Usually the infantry don't really need that many instructions if you are a veteran to hobby games. But if you are new to games, you'll probably want to check out those instructions. Let's just take a quick look at what we're probably looking at here. So most of these clones, and this sprue is identical. So we have 2 of the exact same sprue, and then 1 for the heavies and the leaders and all the special guys. So these are our basic dudes. And typically how the basic dudes are going to work, you're going to have a torso front and back. You're going to have a left and right leg. You're going to have arms. And they're going to match which one, because you see, for example, this one is like CO2. So you're going to get all the C pieces. You're going to get the CO3 and CO4. Those are going to be the legs for CO1 and CO2, right? You're going to probably put the torso together first. Once the torso's together, you're going to put those legs in, and then it's going to be standing up. And then you're going to get the C, one of the C heads, right? You can, and honestly, you can probably do whatever head you want, but you got a lot of different variety for different heads. And then you're going to find your C arms. And these guys are all pretty much in that double-armed pose. So you are going to be getting, the one arm that is connected to the weapon and that has the hand on it, and then the other arm that's just the little stumpy stump that connects to the other hand that's on this other weapon. And so we're just find, this is like the stumpy stump hand. So not particularly hard to put these guys together. And that's kind of how it's going to work. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. All right, so we have our basic Clone Trooper Marksman unit card. I'm also going to take one of the other languages so you can get a look at the back side of it, and I'll overlay this kind of behind so we can look at the whole thing. At 58 points, you're getting a core of 4 units here. They're going to have prepared position and marksman, so this is not bad. They have 1 to 3 with long shot, so they definitely want aims. This is a unit that wants lots and lots of aim tokens, and they can use them to, all sorts of great effects. Now, long shot is going to be important because, again, if they're marksmen and they're based off of the guys that were previously ranged 4, These guys are only range 3. So, of course, you're going to want to spend an aim to increase that range if you need it. If not, you can then spend an aim to upgrade a die, or as many aims as you want to upgrade dice with Marksman, which is very nice. They do also have a black die in melee, which is worth pointing out. They're 1 health and 2 courage with red save. They are only speed 1. However, keep that in mind, only speed 1. So that's where prepared position can help them get into a spot. But every time I use prepared position, my unit is dead before the game starts. So I really don't like prepared position, but maybe I'm the outlier there. Maybe it's just because I'm terrible at actually picking a good position. That's what I always overextend. So I'm more of a fan of Marksman, less of a fan of prepared position. We also, at 58 points, we're going to have the leader, the heavy, the personnel, the training, which is nice, and equipment. No grenades on these guys, but you don't want them in close range anyway. And we have some upgrades for these guys. We have the mortar, who's going to work into the whole range 4 option. He is going to add 2 black dice. He is going to have critical, cumbersome, and suppressive. Don't forget they have changed cumbersome now, so you can still move and shoot with it, but you're going to downgrade if you do that. So, you're more incentivized to still use it the same way, but you're not totally punished. So that is a cool thing. And you can kind of counter that with Marksman a little bit, because you'll roll, like a white die instead of a black die or whatever if you have to downgrade your attack pool. So that is the mortar at 20 points. We have the RPS 6, which is 23 points. Also with cumbersome, this is the one that's a little bit nicer, right? You're adding an RPS 6 Clone Trooper. It's got cumbersome impact 2 and a rainbow ones, a red, a black, and a white. And also these can go in the regular Clone Trooper infantry, both of these guys, which is also kind of a cool thing. So you have some options on all of those, which I think isn't really a surprise to many. And then we have the 1 additional Clone Trooper Marksman at 14 points. We also have our card here for the squad. Now, this is kind of your reinforced squad. I believe this is a misprint or what have you, because I saw this and I was like 73 for a squad when the unit itself is only 58. That's got to be wrong. And it looks like it's actually a misprint. It should be 53 right now, but it's already been corrected online. So if you're seeing this, don't get the sticker shock. It's not actually 73 points for that, because that would be bonkers. But this adds 5 extra clone miniatures, and it gives them Indomitable, and it gives them the enhanced cohesion, and of course they cannot be used with transport. But it's a nice way to have a big, nasty, reinforced squad, and that is always a fun thing. Those are our cards that come with our Clone Trooper Marksman. Let's go ahead and put these guys together. All right, so we've got these guys put together. Again, they weren't very tricky to assemble. I really like the leader pose here. I like having a large two-handed weapon kind of resting down as he's kind of pausing to give out some orders. I like also how they're largely all kind of facing the same direction. They feel a little bit more uniform. Yes, everybody has kind of a twin, but even the poses that aren't like twins are still kind of very similar poses. This is, again, this is an army game, and I like having my soldiers kind of be dress in uniform, and there's definitely a lot of that with these guys. So this appeals to me, especially for a Grand Army of the Republic that has been, trained appropriately. So there we go. As for our heavies, this guy explains why he's cumbersome. Right, this is the only one I'm like isn't all that great. Like that hand pose is just very like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm out of rockets. Why am I still carrying this thing? It's a little bit of an awkward pose on the bazooka guy. I like the mortar guy a little bit better with his jingle bells. He's in the holiday spirit. I actually prefer to think of this instead of as a mortar as a musical instrument. I think he's the group's bard, and Warhammer games tends to have a musician. And, in a lot of their battle line units and core units and infantry units and things like that. So I think he could kind of serve as the musician for the group. And this is kind of like a Clone Wars galactic bagpipe sort of glockenspiel thing that he's playing some tunes, and maybe he's playing Lapti Neck from the original version of Return of the Jedi. he's also doing Jingle Bells at the same time. Maybe he's saying All I Want for Life Day is You by the infamous Galak Celeste of Notable Accord. So that's Mark, and those are Mark's men. All right, that has been a look at the expansion. Lots of different foreign language cards. We've got our cardboard tokens. We've got all of our minis, enough to make 2 squads if we want to. And the other thing that's cool, I went with phase 1 heads for all these guys, but there's lots of extra helmets on sprues. And the cool thing about something like this is you can save all those extra heads, and you can use extra clone helmets for basing material for all your separatists and things like that. So save all your helmets. There's all kinds of cool stuff you can do with them. Maybe just have a mountain of helmets as an objective piece of like the place of the skull or something like that. There's all kinds of cool things that you can do with all those extra bits. So save your extra bits, have some fun with them, have fun gaming, and don't forget to stockpile your aim tokens with your Clone Trooper Marksmen, or should I say Marksmen. All right, that's going to do it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. And always wash your socks.